Your parent or grandparent used to make you nervous when they got behind the wheel, but now the thought of them driving actually terrifies you. Tonight, Jared evaluates medical research and traffic statistics to answer the question, when is it time to hang up the keys?
Older drivers in Kansas may be forced to take a DMV re-examination based on factors that include the driver's physical or mental condition or driving record. However, sometimes families are simply forced to sit their senior down and have the tough talk. Research shows people are living well past when they should stop driving.
Women are outliving their driving age by 10 years and men by 7 years.
The only certified driving rehabilitation specialist in the state, Kristen Nichols, says it's a national crisis. In early March, this car crashed into the front of a Topeka Dillons. A similar scene on the news a few years ago led Adrian Revels to ask his grandfather to put the brakes on driving.
Seeing the older lady run into Dillons, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want that to be you. You know, and if you need to go somewhere, then I'll make the time for you to get where you need to go.
Delano Henderson sometimes misses his independence, especially for a quick run to the store.
Adrian will do it for me, but I wouldn't mind doing it myself. You know, if I get the urge to go, I'd like to go.
According to the most recent data, older drivers make up 16% of all licensed drivers, a number that has grown since 2002. Despite more seniors being on the road, the number of fatalities and crashes involving older drivers declined by 13% from 2003 to 2012. In fact, seniors had the lowest fatal crash involvement rate when compared to other driver age groups. Some attribute that to the fact that they tend to drive fewer miles than younger drivers. The risk of crashes rises with age, especially after 75, according to the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration. Yet experts point to health and not age as the determining factor in when it's time to hang up the keys. Rudy Mendoza is now 79. I asked when he thought he would stop driving.
Well, I'm getting to that point now.
In fact, his daughter has already started talking about chauffeuring him around when she retires. However, Rudy says he's in good health for now and will just take it slow. Older drivers like him often make many common mistakes, such as failing to yield to the right-of-way, failing to stay in lane, misjudging time or distance needed to turn, and speeding or driving too slowly. 73-year-old Frank Graham says his driving has improved since taking driver training at Shawnee Mission Medical Center following a stroke last year.
I'm a safer driver now. I don't tailgate, I don't speed, I keep both hands on the wheel, and I pay attention to what's going on.
Frank says it's freedom to meet his buddies for breakfast without relying on them to pick him up or for his wife to drop him off. Still, he knows the day will come when he has to put his car permanently in park.
I'm not a dummy. I mean, when I reach that point, I don't want to put anybody else's life in danger.
Kristen Nichols is the occupational therapist he worked with. She says her goal is to keep people driving, even if it means some modifications, such as not driving at night or on the interstate.
To me, it's still a win if they can continue to drive and get themselves to coffee or get themselves to church.
While independence is her goal for patients, she says safety is always the overriding factor, and sometimes that means seniors having to surrender their license. For many, it never comes to that because they give it up willingly. Now 90, Dorothy Rich says she stopped driving a few years ago when her kids came to her.
I agreed with them because if I would have had a wreck and hurt somebody, I would have never gotten over it.
The obvious question is, when and how do I have the talk with the senior in my life? The certified driving rehabilitation specialist we talked to answers those questions and describes Shawnee Mission's driver training program in exclusive online videos at ksnt.com. You'll also find links to resources for everything from AARP's Safe Driving Program to helping your senior figure out how to get around without a car. Christina.
Thank you, Jared. In less than a month from now, the Get Up and Go Older Adult Driving Expo will be held in Overland Park, Kansas at the KU Edwards campus. They'll discuss good driving habits, medical conditions that affect driving, as well as planning for and transitioning to driving retirement. You'll find details with this story at ksnt.com.